All right, I'm in Plano, Illinois. I'm waiting on a dispatch. So, I'm gonna go out and do some foraging, although I don't think there's really much to forage right now as far as like berries and stuff, but there might be my favorite greens. This is the heat of the summer. But anyhow, this is gridlock. This is I get this from Aldi's, and it's a $1. It's a good tasting and it's a healthy energy drink. I got this from the Dollar General. Um, it doesn't really have much of a flavor, but it seems to work. It's mostly natural, but it does have some artificial stuff in it, like flavors. But it has really no flavor, so the artificial flavor is next to none. I haven't tried this yet. I've only tried the superfood, the red one. I got this at Dollar General too. It's a citrus sunshine super smoothie. I'm sure it tastes pretty good. It's only $1. And then the green super smoothie, it was only $1. And then this energy blend from Walmart. And I didn't actually check the ingredients, but it looks like it's pretty healthy. Actually, it's all natural. It may not be organic, but it looks all natural. So, and then I got my V8 Gatorade, regular juice. So, anyhow, also from Aldi's, I got kombucha. Now, ideally, you would probably want to make your own, but this was like $2 or $3, and the bottle alone is worth at least a buck $1.50. So for $1.50 for a bottle of kombucha is not bad because I can reuse these bottles for my aromatherapy. So I'm thinking about taking this with me out to forage. That or my blend of energy drinks since I'm kind of struggling. Now this Schwelp's Diet Tonic Water is the only one to get. There's another one, but I forgot which one. Basically, they don't have any artificial sweeteners, no high fructose corn crap, and so on and so forth. Now this is just the tonic water bottle. I've already used up the tonic water. I might have some more, but I need to buy some more. But if you buy tonic water, this is the one to get. I don't make any money off of them, although I should probably look into their stocks and buy some of their stocks because I do endorse them. And like one person said, if you wear it or you buy it or you drive it, you should own the stocks. So there you go. I'm just waiting for dispatch. I'm here at Menards in Plano, Illinois. So I'll take my dispatch phone with me. And I'll take my kombucha. And we'll go out here and see what we can find. Ah. I'm not too worried about my truck at this location, but you never know who you can trust and who you cannot trust. Just like I had a friend for 10 years, I thought I could trust him, and it turned out I couldn't trust him. And that's why I call him Judas now, because he's a backstabber. And he robbed me. Now, he was honest and trustworthy,
I shouldn't say honest. He was trustworthy up until the point where I started taking away his handouts. I was giving him hand ups, but he was taking them for handouts. Once I started taking away his hand ups because he was using them as handouts or treating them as handouts, once I started taking those away, then that's when the problem started. You know, he had a lot of potential. um, he was all talk and little to no action. So it took me over 5 years to really figure that out. And, you know, even though he had all this potential, he really wasn't planning on doing anything with it. These are edible, I think. It's the flat ones, I believe, that are not edible. But if they have the round, whatever these are called, I would call them leaves, but they're not really leaves. From what I understand, if they got the round ones, they're edible. If they're not round, they're flat, they're not edible. From what I understand. The berries aren't ready though. You gotta wait till they're purple. These ones are purplish. They're high in vitamin C. So I don't chew them up though, because I don't like the flavor. I just swallow them like garlic pills. Boop. And I let my body digest it. This is Queen Anne's lace. It's a wild lettuce. I'm not sure if it tastes any good or not. It's more of a probably a medicinal. This looks familiar, but I can't remember what it is. But anyways, it took me over 5 years to realize this guy was a waste of my time. And so I started taking away his freebies, and then that's when he started getting worse. So I took away more freebies, and he got worse. And I took away more freebies, and he got worse. And my feet are wet. I guess it's wet over there. Should have worn my rubber boots. Anyways, and this last year was a nightmare. And he robbed me and stabbed me in the back worse than ever. And it was just horrible. So be careful who you trust and how you trust them. You know, it's like you think you can trust people, but you may not be able to. I trust too much. That is my problem. These look too ripe. I don't think they're going to be any good. Let me try one. They're okay. Here's a couple that are still kind of almost ripe. I like the sour ones better usually, but occasionally you'll find a good mulberry that has good tasting ripe mulberries. I got one on my land. That's amazing. I'll try this ripe one, but I don't think it's good. They're okay. I think this is bee balm. I have to Google it and see if it's related to oregano because it tastes like oregano, smells like oregano. I'll change my socks when I get back to the truck. This looks like honey locust. I don't see any thorns. Might be black locust, but black locust I think has different leaves. Elderberries. They're not ready yet, but when they turn purple, they're edible. These are good for you, high in vitamin C. Good for colds and flus and the other C word that we're not allowed to talk about. Roses. The rose hips are also high in vitamin C. Also good for what I just said. C19. That word that we're not allowed to talk about. This is mulberry too, but it looks like it's a male plant, so it's not producing fruit. Either that or it's a hedge mulberry cross, which would make it a mule. But it looks like a mulberry. There's like a little creek down yonder. This is a little ditch. So a lot of good things like plantain. A lot of good things like to grow in ditches and whatnot. This here, has it got thorns? No. It looks like gooseberry. I'm not sure. If it had thorns, I would say it was gooseberry. But I didn't see any thorns, so I can't be for certain. Oh, here's some more plantain. This is the broadleaf plantain growing right next to the narrowleaf plantain. I like the narrowleaf plantain myself. More mulberries, although I don't see any fruit on that one. Not sure what this is. I'm still working on my tree identification, but I'm getting better at that since I was tree trimming and stuff. Here is wood sorrow. I call it the Irish clover. Here's some grape vines. It could be porcelain berry. It just all depends. Porcelain berry has rainbow colored berries, and the chickens love it, but they don't really taste that good. And I don't see any fruit on these, so it's probably, who knows. Of course, the male plants don't produce fruit either, so. More mulberries. Trying not to get to my feet wet, so I'm not going in the ditch too much. There's some pineapple thistle, looks like. And here is wild carrot. Don't know if this is edible or poisonous. You got to be careful with wild carrots. Some of them are poisonous. Oh, chickweed. I'm not chickweed. Chicory. This is good for the heart. I like the flowers. So I usually eat the flowers. They're not uber good tasting or anything, but it's pretty much the best tasting part of the plant. So I just eat it for heart health. More mulberry trees without mulberries. That's a wild lettuce down there, I think. It looks like a dandelion, though. with really long stems. I forget what they're called. Here's a regular dandelion. Those are good for the liver. I'm afraid to eat too many things off the ground here, but because all the trash and stuff. This is probably a safer area than most areas in the city because it's mostly just, trailers, drop trailers here. And oh, this is a wild cherry. Although I don't see any cherries. Some more wild carrot, but I'm not sure if that's poisonous or not. I have plant identification stuff to tell me whether it is or it isn't, but I haven't got it memorized. So just be leery of any wild carrots. That being said, the wild daisy, or even the domesticated daisy, the greens taste like carrots. So if you want a green that tastes like a carrot, go for the daisy leaves. The daisy leaves are more, I think the word is prolific in the winter when it goes into root production. It'll also produce more leaves. I'm trapped. I gotta go around in this trailer. This kombucha is not too bad. Pink Lady Apple. I'm not a huge kombucha fan though, but I bought it because I thought, well, I need to be healthy, so I bought it for health reasons, and I wanted to try it. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. Milkweed, right here. Oh, more mulberries. Yay. See how this one tastes. It's better than the last one. Here we go. Here's a ripe one and an almost ripe one. They taste better if you eat them together, in my opinion. But you know what they say about opinions? Oh, I dropped it. Not too bad. Now, they say hedge has anti-cancer properties, and hedge and mulberry are related. So I'm sure mulberry has some anti-cancer properties too. I think we're allowed to say that C word. We're just not allowed to say the C19 word. More milkweed. Cattails. Cattails are good for a lot of things. I just can't tell you what they're good for right now. But look that up. Cattails. Yeah. Ooh. No, this is the curly dock, I think. Let me try it. Well, it's not too bad. The young sprouts of the curly dock are still pretty good. They get bitter with age. kind of like people. There's dandelion. The kombucha with the dock tastes pretty good. Now, yarrow has a feathery leaf, kind of like a carrot, like a wild carrot. And it is an edible, but I don't think this is yarrow. Could be, but I'm not 100% sure. The yarrow has more of a feathery look to it, but it does have a similar look to the wild carrot. So it's easier to tell when it's growed up, but it only really, I think, grows up in the spring and summer. And then I think it goes into root production after that. I haven't seen any in a minute, so it's probably in root production now. More cattails. So here's some milkweed pods. Now, I know people eat milkweed. I tried it. It's not any good raw, but you might cook it. There might be some recipes online, I'm sure, that you can find. Here is some more wood sorrow, the Irish clover. I like that, but I'm afraid to eat stuff off the ground here. Broadleaf plantain. Some more Irish clover. That one looks a little healthier. Maybe I'll try that one. Oh, here's some thistle. It's in root production now. We're further north. We're in Illinois, so things are in different season up here than it is in Missouri. It's nice and cool up here. Missouri is still hot, over 100 degrees. But I'm up around Chicago area. Oh, Chinese lanterns. Looks like they may have already dropped their fruit though. Some more grapes. Or porcelainberry, one of the two. Some wild lettuce. The problem with wild lettuce is a lot of it's prickly and doesn't, it's like, unless you're a goat or have goat gums, it's hard to eat because goats can eat anything. It's crazy. You gotta have some really tough gums to eat wild lettuce. A lot of it anyways. A lot of it's real prickly. Judas eats wild lettuce all the time. I don't know how he does it. But then again, he still has his teeth. I don't have any teeth, so that's a factor for me. I wasn't healthy growing up, and so I lost all my teeth. Here's some more it's a wild tomato, but it's one that's good for you. It looks like a tomatillia, but we call it Chinese lantern, and I think that's its official name. So I learned a lot of this stuff from David Irish, Judas, also known as David Ray, and here's some more plantain. Marcus Rothkranz, who pretty much is like one of my mentors, one of my main mentors, and then other random people. I started my own free food and medicine network inspired by Marcus Rothkranz because his book is called Free Food and Medicine. Oh, here's some lanterns. They got some food in them. Might be ready. No, not that one. This one here might looks like it might be ready. Let's check it out. Hard to do this one-handed. Yeah, it's not quite ready, but that's what it looks like on the inside. It's still edible at this point. No, it's not. I mean, it might be, but it didn't taste that good. So they're not ready. That's why I brought my kombucha. Kombucha! So this is the flower, or I think it's called a stamen, I'm not sure, of the narrow leaf plantain. It's got a long stalk and then a short little flowered head. The broadleaf plantain has a shorter stalk and a longer flower head. There's some wild clover, the kind that the horses eat. And other animals. That looks like elm. Nobody really likes elm. Except for, I think, morels like either elm or ash or both. And so, trying to promote morel growth, look into that. You could get potentially more morels if you have a stack of elm or ash or both in the woods to promote morel growth. I have to do a little bit more homework on that. There's a butterfly. It's not edible, but that's one of those cool ones. I think it's called a monarch. I'm not sure. There's a dragonfly. Certain butterflies and moths look cool, but they're bad in their larva state, if you will. They're very destructive. So it's like, oh, we like them because they look cool when they become adults, but in their childhood state, they're very damaging and destructive. The lawnmower lawn mowed these, so they're not producing as much as they probably should or could. Oh, here's some. Not sure these are ready yet. When the paper turns brown, it's pretty much ready, but you got to get it before the worms do. Nope, it's not ready yet. I almost stopped the video by accident. But yeah, these are Chinese lanterns, and these are edibles. See inside here, you see the fruit. And it's like a tomatillia. It's a wild cherry tomato. There are some more elderberries. This is what I saw when I was driving over here. And I was like, I'm gonna go videotape. So, elderberries. They like to grow in ditches also. Here's a unusual one. I have some of these on the land, I think. I'm I'm not sure what they are though. So I'll have to look into that. More wild lettuce, more plantain. Japanese beetles, kill Japanese beetles. Japanese beetles are evil. Kill Japanese beetles. They're harmless to people, but they're damaging to plants. Sophie, my new business associate, she will take her fingernails and just pop their heads off. It's funny. Or she'll just squish them. I'm less inclined to squishing them as I am to stepping on them. But yeah, these are not good for plants. Oh, what's this? Cherry tomatoes. I mean, what am I saying? These are the wild cherries I was talking about earlier. I love these. I'll suck the juice out. Peel the skin back with my gums and spit the seeds out. There's a choke cherry that is said to be poisonous. It looks like a cranberry. Oh, but these are not it. They have like a sweet, sour, bitter taste. I never seen a fruit or berry that had all three elements of flavor. But these do. Now the choke cherries, which these are not them. A lot of people call these those, but they're not. The choke cherry, you cannot eat the leaves or the stems, and you also cannot eat the seeds. I wouldn't want to eat the seeds anyways. But these, the wild cherry, you can take the stems and make a tea out of it, and it tastes pretty good. So like when I do my pruning of my wild cherries on the land, I'll cut the stems up and make uh, wild cherry tea out of them. There's not a lot here, but it's still pretty good. You know, it's more like a treat than it is a meal. But it's packed full of nutrients, even though it's so small and tiny like that. So you still got to be careful because this little tiny cherry's got as much nutrients as a regular big cherry. And from what I understand, some cherries and grapes don't get as big as they get in the market, if you will. They spray growth hormones on them to make them bigger. But naturally, they don't get that big. More juniper. See, Queen Anne's lace, you will usually see like this little purple or black dot in the middle. And that's how you know. Or it'll fold up like this. And that's Queen Anne's lace. Grasshoppers like to hang out inside there whenever it folds up like that. I just heard a frog. Oh, some ducks. Oh, they're mallards. I think those are mallards. We had a mallard on the land. Her name was Hermione. But Coco ended up killing her. Our neighbor moved in, and his dogs taught our dogs to kill chickens and ducks and stuff. And at first we didn't know who or what was killing them. And then we figured it out. My mom more or less figured out that Coco was doing it. She tried to tell Judas, but Judas didn't believe her. And pretty much the next day, she killed Hermione. And then Judas believed her. But it was too late. Hermione was dead. Those are both females. They're scared. I don't blame them. I could be a hunter. But I don't hunt ducks. I raise ducks for food. Although, I haven't eaten any of my ducks that I raised for food. Because the predators got them all. But, yeah. I prefer Muscovies. But Hermione, she was a good mother. She would sit on the eggs. But she never got a chance to hatch them out because snakes came and got all the eggs. But she was a good duck. She was the only mallard I had, and we had her because we were duck sitting. But the girl that left her with us basically abandoned her. So she ended up being ours. But anyhow, yeah. I guess that's it for today. I'm gonna head back to the truck. I've still not got dispatched, but I think I covered most of the bases. Wonder what that is over there. I see red berries on it. Or at least it looks like red berries. I'm not sure. Yeah, it's got red berries. Interesting. One thing I learned, red buds. Red buds, you can eat the flowers and the seed pods and the leaves for that matter. But you do not want red buds growing near your ponds or whatever if you have fish in them, because the red buds will kill the fish. You want mulberries growing next to your ponds and whatnot, because mulberries are good for the fish and it's free food for the fish. So whatever you don't eat, they eat, and then you eat the fish and you're happy. So yeah, all right. My toes are somewhat dry now, but I'll still have to change my socks. Ah, yeah. All right. I guess that's it. Can't think of anything else. So Marcus Rothkrans, you can find Marcus Rothkrans at freefoodandmedicine.com. If you want to give me credit, go to freefoodandmedicine.net. That's my affiliate link to Marcus Rothkrans. I give you both web addresses because I want you to know I'm not in it for the money. But if you do buy something and want to give me credit for it, off Marcus's website, go to freefoodandmedicine.net and I'll get a small commission. Go to freefoodandmedicine.org for all of my free stuff that I'm offering. And mostly it's all social networks. I also have a podcast that Judas and I used to do together, but he ended up petering out on me. So I just, I closed it off. But freefoodandmedicine.org for that. My networking groups are how I've also been learning about this stuff, other foraging videos, and then learning about goat health. I've learned what natural herbs are good for them, studying, different things. And I ordered a whole bunch of books for natural healing for animals, herbs and essential oils for animals. And so I've learned a bit about that. And then I've been studying herbology and aromatherapy for pretty much 20 some years. So, but it wasn't until about a decade ago that I started getting into foraging for wild edibles and being able to identify all those herbs and stuff in the wild. So that's where I'm at now. I'm kind of a survivalist, so to speak. So, all right, there's my truck. And like I said, I'm still waiting for a load. But yeah, freefoodandmedicine.org. That's where you can find all my stuff. And I'll update it as I get more groups. I got a MeWe group. I got a Facebook group. I've got Discord group. And I think that's it. Oh, and then I've got a locals page, but I don't really go there that much. But you can go to freefoodandmedicine.locals.com for that. Okay, bye.